guys, wanted to put out this real quick video about the state of Bitcoin today. This is Friday afternoon. Just looking at the charts on TradingView. Wanted to get this video out to you guys real quick so you know my thoughts right now. But first, before we get into that, please do us a big favor. Hit that like button as well as that subscribe button and ding that notification bell if you enjoy getting content from us. We really do appreciate it. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. So this is going to be a quick short video. Let's get into it. So basically the reason I wanted to put this video out right now is because Bitcoin has broken down past 40,000, which was our resistance line. As you see here, the yellow lines are our resistance and support lines that we have that are based upon other zones that existed in the past. So as you see here, we're right here. This yellow line is about 40,000. It's kind of based upon this area right here where you see that there's been some resistance in the past. It broke through, and then this resistance became support. And again, it became some support until we went straight down through it. And again, this has been a support line. As you see, it was resistance here. This line was resistance in the past in May. Okay, this area was also resistance in the past in January. It broke clearly through it, came back down, smashed down through it, became resistance. So the point is, this area of $40,000 is a really strong resistance slash support line for Bitcoin, depending on which side you're on of it. Now, currently, as of early February, we were trading above the line. So it was acting as support, okay? But right now, for the first time, we've smashed through it. Okay, we've smashed through that support. Now it's really likely that that support becomes resistance now that we're below it, okay? And what that means is a couple of things. We're looking at the daily chart right now, and as you see on the daily chart, we have what looks like with the 8 EMA, which is the green line, and the 21 EMA, exponential moving average, which is the purple. So the way to read this indicator is when the 8 EMA crosses above the purple, when the green crosses above the purple, that is a bullish indicator. Okay, when the green line crosses below the purple, that is a bearish indicator, and we're about to get a bearish indicator right soon. The green is about to cross below the purple, which is going to be a bearish indicator indicating movement to the downside. And as we see here, could be confirmed a bit more with the fact that we've smashed through our resistance that was keeping us up. Okay, the resistance has been smashed through. Now, if we look here, if we look at our MACD, the signal is the yellow line, and the moving average is the one that switches from green to red. And as you see here, we are getting into a bearish momentum as we're crossing down below the signal on the MACD, another bearish indicator. And the reason why these things are looking, I would give a lot of this more credence, is because, again, we're looking at the daily. Now, if we switch to the weekly, now it's very bearish. Everything looks bearish. The green 8 EMA is smashed, has been going further down below the 21, and the gap is widening. That's an even more bearish sign. Okay, again, we've smashed below the yellow line, this support. We've smashed below the support. Okay, that is very bearish. And the MACD, again, very bearish. We're not only crossing below the signal with the MACD, we're now in the bearish side of the MACD on the weekly. This is the bullish, which is good, which is a confirmation. But when you start getting a the red line crossing below the signal in the bearish territory, which is below zero, On a weekly, that's very strong. That's very strong. And then you coincide that with the bearish activity going on the daily. That means that we're likely going to be in for some bearish movement. So what we can also do here, if we get rid of this, I want to bring up the pivot points. Let's see if we get our pivots up here. And so the way the pivots work, if you're above the P is the pivot, okay, and the pivot points are basically the areas where bots trade at. These are the bot trading levels. So P is basically neutral. If it's above P, that means you're in a bullish area, and if you're below the P, that means you're in a bearish activity. And R1 is resistance 1. This is where bots are likely to start buying. Okay, if you break above the R1, that means you're potentially clear sailing to R2. Okay, I'm sorry, the bots are likely to sell. They're going to sell and take profits at R1. If you break above R1, you get to R2. It's kind of smooth sailing until bots start buying again. Okay, selling again. Excuse me. And so this is showing you what about 90% of the bots are doing with the R1 and the R2, and it's the reverse on the S1. Break down here, this is all bearish territory. If the price gets down here, then the bots start buying to make a bump up. As you can see here, our line, okay, our resistance line that we drew is in the same area as the P, which is the pivot point. This is again, this is how the bots are trading. And so we also have a pivot point. Our pivot point, the support line is here as well, which is also close to what we identified as resistance, support rather. This is going to be support. What does all this mean? So this means that we have since we've cleared down, we've punched through this piece. So we're on the verge of going into a bearish cycle here with the pivot points. Okay, so this is also bearish. This is just another indicator that is helping you confirm a position, confirm your hypothesis. And this is another indicator on the daily that's showing bearish movement, bearish movement to the downside. What does all this mean? Before we get into that, let's just take a quick look at the weekly and see where that is with the pivot points. Pivot points change from time frame to time frame. So here, if we look at the pivot points, so this is the P here, okay? This is the pivot here. And as you see here, R1 is up here. So according to the weekly, we're also still in bearish territory. We're below the pivot. That means we're in the bearish territory and we're headed down. Okay, we're headed down on the weekly. So what does this mean? Let's go back to the daily. So what does this mean overall? So what this means is that since we're right here in this $40,000 area, we punched through to 39. We're at 39,000 now. The next area of support is like at 34,000 in this zone right here between 34 and 33,000. Okay, so right now Bitcoin can easily drop down to 33 to 34,000. All right, that's something to consider. You might want to say this is a little bit of a resistance area here. We might be able to stop the falling knife at 37,000, but it doesn't seem to be as strong as this level historically. Okay, this has been this is where we had some support previously, right around this area. So what's the point of this video? In summary, we've broken below 40,000. That looks very bearish. It's very, very bearish now. The pivot points, all of our indicators on the daily, well, not what 4 out of 5 on the daily and 5 out of 5 on the weekly are looking at a bearish movement for Bitcoin. Okay, so keep that in mind. So what does that mean? When we look at the RSI, if we could bring the RSI up, let's get the RSI. RSI typically gives you a good indicator when it's a good time to buy, when it's oversold. And right now, we're not even in an oversold category. If it was below 30, we'd be oversold. We're not oversold. We're still in the middle somewhere. So that means that the price is not a good time to start sniping some Bitcoin, because we need to get down here before we're even oversold. What does that mean? That means, again, we have more price to drop before we have that happen. It may happen in a week, it may happen in a month, but again, everything is looking very bearish, especially with this punch through the $40,000 level that we just had. Okay, guys? So just my strategy, again, not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. If you're seeking one, find somebody else, not me. I'm just keeping my cash on the sidelines. I'm keeping my cash on the sidelines, and I might buy some passive income strategy opportunities that make sense at a cheaper price. But I am not trying to buy any Bitcoin or any of the altcoins, because as we know, wherever Bitcoin goes, the altcoins follow. And the place that they're following right now is down into the toilet. And so that's kind of where it is right now. So I would just be patient. We're having some downside movement. I'd expect more downside movement. It's a crazy, volatile world right now, because again, the macroeconomics are terrible too. When we look at the S&P 500, we are below the pivot point here as well, which is bearish territory, and it's just falling. We have the AEMA is crossed below the 21. That's very bearish. So, a lot of this stuff is very bearish. If we get rid of, let's see here, let's get rid of the pivot point, and let's look at the MACD. Okay, MACD, it's in the bearish area, and it's going, it's crossing below the signal. That's also bearish. Everything on the S&P is bearish, right? There's nothing positive, and the S&P is likely going to move everything, all the crypto and everything else, right? So it's all bearish, 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 bearish on the daily with the S&P, and as well on the weekly, it's bearish too. We just got to cross a downward side cross. The ADMA going below the 21. This is looking tragic. We're getting the MACD. MACD is crossing below the moving average is crossing below the signal, and these red candles are showing that the brighter the red means the higher the volume. It means there's a lot of activity moving the S&P down to the downside. So if it was lighter candles, see how these are lighter over here? That's light volume moving it to the downside. Bright red is a lot of volume, a strong activity to the downside. So that's what we're seeing here. In the RSI, we're not oversold yet on the S&P. We still got a long way to go before it's even oversold. So it's got some way to go down. Point is, things are looking bearish. So yeah, just hang on tight and stack some cash and get ready to pick up some discounts in the near future, guys. If you think the analysis I put forth makes sense, do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm possibly accurate about this? Let me know what you think, and let me know if you get value from these kind of videos. I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. We really do appreciate it. We really do read it, and we really do appreciate your engagement with us. So that's pretty much it. So as always, thanks so much for tuning in. Please hit the like button as well as that subscribe button, and ding that notification bell as well if you deem it so. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hey guys, thanks so much again for viewing our wonderful video, and please don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you found value in this, and please ding the notification bell as well. Thanks so much. See you next time.